Welcome to my new lecture. In this lecture, I am going to talk about topic 28.5 of the Halliday Resnick Walker's book Fundamentals of Physics, and the topic is crossed fields and the Hall effects. By crossed field, we mean where we have both electric field and magnetic field as well. We know that electric field is produced due to static charges and magnetic field is produced by moving charges. E is electric field, which is due to static charges, and B is magnetic field, which is due to moving charges. We should note one thing that a beam of electrons in a vacuum can be deflected by a magnetic field. In 1879, Edwin Hall at Hopkins University showed that the Hall effect, which we are going to discuss today, the Hall effect allows us to find out whether the charge carrier is positively charged or negatively charged. It can also be used to calculate the number density, that is the number of charge carriers per unit volume. So by Hall effects, we would be interested in two things. First thing is whether the conductor is positively charged or negatively charged, and the second one is the number density. To go further with our discussion related to Hall effect, uh, consider a copper strip of width d. This is a copper strip of width d, and magnetic field is set up as into the plane of paper like this. This cross symbol basically represents that magnetic field is into the plane of paper like this one, and the direction of current is given like this is I current that is flowing from top to bottom like this. Remember one thing, that this direction of current is of the conventional current, and the it means that conventional current will move from top to bottom, and the electronic current, as we know, that has direction opposite to that of conventional current. So electronic current or the electrons will move in this case from bottom to top. And one thing we should notice as well, that when such an magnetic field is set up, the electrons rather drift through such a magnetic field, and we say that each electron moves with a certain drift velocity, which would be given as V sub of d. V sub of d would be the drift velocity of each of these electrons when they move from bottom to top. Suppose I consider these electron, if it is over here, this is my electron, and we know that when an electron moves perpendicular to the magnetic field, it experiences a magnetic force which is given as Fb. What should be the direction of Fb in this case? The direction of magnetic force will be towards the right, and we would see that in this case the electrons will, when we have more than one electron, they will arrange themselves over around the right side of this strip, as I have represented them by negative charges. If I could make the same diagram over here to make it more explanatory. This is my copper strip, and negative charge will develop over here, and these electron will be directed towards right due to this magnetic force, and the current conventional direction is from top to bottom, and electronic current would be from bottom to top, and positive charge would develop on the left side of this copper strip. Now this right side has negative charge, means electrons, and this right side has positive charge on the left side of the strip. So one can say that an electric field would be developed between these charges at the ends of this strip, and we know that when we have electric field, then the force due to the electric field is known as electric force, and it is equals to charge times the electric field. The electric field will be developed and the electric force would be there, and the electric force has same direction as that of electric field. As electric field would be from negative to positive charge, so this electric force would be from right towards left. So the magnetic force would be from left to right, and electric force would be from left to right. Now when this situation happens, the equilibrium between these two forces is quickly reached, and when these electric field becomes equal to magnetic field, then this would be known as an equilibrium position. When this equilibrium happens, this means the electron will not deflect towards or move towards right end of the strip, and they will move from bottom to top without moving towards the right edge of the strip with velocity Vd. Now when we have electric field developed across this strip, we can say that the potential difference would be there due to this electric field. Since we know that d is the width of this strip, then the potential difference that develops across this strip is equal to E times the d. This is expression for potential difference. Since we are calling this potential difference as Hall potential difference due to Hall effect, we can call this as VH to be equals to ED. Now if I connect a voltmeter across this strip, I would see that now if in this case this this side, that is the right side of the strip, would be at higher potential as compared to the left side of the strip. This means that the charges are negatively charged, as we assumed at first that the electrons are moving from bottom to top in this case. So one of the advantages of Hall effect, that it tells us about whether the charges are positively charged or negatively charged, is clear from this Hall potential difference that we have just found how to calculate. Now consider another situation in which I consider again a copper strip of this is a copper strip of width d, and magnetic field is same into the plane of paper like this. I am not making it inside just to make a clear figure, but you can see that magnetic field is along inside and outside the strip out into the plane of paper. And now let's say that electrons move from top to bottom in this case. When the electrons move from top to bottom, they will experience magnetic force that would be towards the left side of the strip, and these electrons will make this strip to be left side of the strip to be negatively charged, and consequently the positive charges would be developed along the right side of the strip, and the direction of electric force would be towards the right side of this, right? Now the electrons once again will move through this drift through this with velocity vd, and they will not go to any side of the strip as long as this fb is equals to fe. And we know from our previous discussion that fb is equals to qv cross b, and we know the electric force to be equals to qe. Since the charge is electron, we can say that E and V is actually Vd in this case, and B, since V and B are perpendicular to each other, so V cross V will be Vd into B, and this would be equals to E times the, right? This is a way to formulate Vd in this case would result in E over B. This is the drift velocity of electrons. Now the number density in terms of drift velocity is given as in terms of current density. This drift velocity is known as J over NE, where J is current density, N is number of charges or electrons, and this E is charge on electron. Since the density is current density, so we can write this current density to be equals to current per unit area. Substituting it in this equation will give me Vd drift velocity to be equals to current I over NE A area. Now if I again consider this equation in the form that E is equals to Vd times B, and I know this E from previous discussion to be equals to E is equals to Hall potential difference or potential difference per unit D, and I have just calculated this Vd to be equals to I over NEA. Substituting both these values into this equation will result in E would be V by D is equals to Vd. This is potential difference and this is drift velocity, and Vd is I over NEA into B. Since I am interested in calculating the number density, so the number density can be found from this equation to be equals to N is equals to I B D over E A V. This can be equals to B I over V L E. Since this L is equals to A by D, that I have substituted over here to make this expression to calculate number density. What is this L now? This is thickness of the strip that thickness of this copper strip that we are using. So this N is equals to Bi over VLE is our final expression for the number density, that is number of charge carriers per unit area. Number density is number of charge carriers per unit volume. Now let's solve a numerical related with our today's topic, Hall effect. The statement of this numerical is: a strip of copper 150 micrometer thick and 455 millimeter wide is placed in a uniform magnetic field of 0.65 Tesla with B perpendicular to strip. A current of 23 ampere is then sent through the strip such that a Hall potential difference appears across the strip. Calculate the potential difference, that is Hall potential difference. We have the thickness of this copper wire that is given by 150 micrometer, and the magnetic field is given by 0.65 Tesla, and the current that is flowing through this is 23 ampere, and we have to calculate V or VH, which is Hall potential difference in this case. I have developed this formula for number density, that is number of charge carriers per unit volume. I can use this formula to calculate this Hall potential difference or potential difference. So the V in this case should be equals to BI over NLA. In this case we have this B given, we have now the current, we know the thickness of the strip, we know the charge in electron. One thing that is missing is the number density, and the number density of electrons in copper strip is n is equals to 8.23 into 10 raised to power 28 electrons per meter cube. So you substitute all these values into this equation and you will get the Hall potential difference. So this was all about Hall effect. We have tried to develop what is Hall effect, and how it can be used to find out the whether the charge is positive or negative, and the number density, that is number of charge carriers per unit volume. And further we have done a numerical to further elaborate this topic. Hopefully you have understood it. I would be back soon with a new lecture. Thank you all.